Last time on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. God, I have a bad feeling I'll be watching this footage a lot. Inserted? Oh my god, like a penis in a shut up. Oh my god, please. I don't I don't need to watch it again. Like, free me. I don't want to stare at this goddamn badger anymore. And now, hello. It is I, the Nugster, back with another part of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last time we did the first part of the trial for day 3. And like a good lawyer, I proved that Meekins definitely couldn't do it, so it must be my defendant who's guilty. Yep, that's what I'm getting paid for. Assuming I even get paid. But we also did learn some more lore about what might be going on behind this case. And SL9. Seems like everyone involved with the case 2 years ago is coming up again for some reason. Also, I went back and watched previous parts. I forgot that Angel told us that they convicted the guy with false evidence, basically. They made it up. But I'm also still convinced that Damon Gant is like the final boss of this case. I don't know what his motivations would be, or really anyone's, if it's not him. Because, I mean, yeah, I guess they, I was thinking maybe a cover-up, because, they used made-up evidence, but why would they need to cover it up? It already happened. It's over. It's been like 2 years. Wasn't the evidence gonna be put to rest today or something? Yeah, and you were also to kill everyone involved, which is everyone we know. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but let's keep going and find out. I don't know what's happening today. Oh yeah, we had a recess to get another like testimony or something, so I guess we'll find out. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court number 9. Blah blah blah. Good, we get to talk. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Oh yeah. Okay. There was also the part at the end where I guess Emma learned what the SL9 incident actually was. She didn't realize she was involved, but she was. She was a witness, right? Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Oh yeah, we went to get Marshall. Yeah. Why is your bloody handprint? Why? Yeah. At this point, it's probably Marshall who was in the evidence room, disguised as Goodman. But why? Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner. Oh, I'm just a man, same as you. Wandered the trails of civilization. What he said. And also, it's very likely that Marshall has a family member who was killed by the serial killer in the SL9 incident. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. You're not... you are delusional. Oh, I know! You're a patrolman! No, he's a cowboy. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. Everyone listen. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. He's crazy. He thinks he's a cowboy. We just let these delusional people into the police department. Howling wind? I've never heard Edward described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean by that? A desperado's soul and a boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Yeah. I rest my case. Maybe it's best we got on with this quickly. God, I hate the people I bring to my courtroom. How is he allowed to have a knife on the stand? Please share with us your testimony the day of the crime. In plain old English. Can't speak like a cowboy. Day of the crime. My job is to keep a wary eye on the bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. I just didn't do my job. Besides, the room protected by 2 security systems anyway. I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if we're out of my ammo, it's time I hit the trail. That was a very complicated way to say he was just went out to drink. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me. Yeah. Get fucked, Judge. God, I love Marshall. He's just crazy. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? The card ID system and the cameras? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. Yeah, if I just read the thing, blah blah blah, whatever. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. You know, crimes can still take place with the cameras there, right? Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Isn't that 3? Fingerprint-activated locks. What kind of newfangled doohickey are those? What are you talking about? You're crazy. He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines, or with following orders, or living in today's society. Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Let's arrest him. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Oh, damn right. Alright. Day of the crime. I didn't see anything off, so... What is the bone orchid? How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. The time would come and erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. I don't think it's that deep, Marshall, please. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. He said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that day my style. But fuck that, I'm not doing it. You made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Fuck no. Hey, you heard a word I said, partner? I was drinking. I told you that ain't my style. How do you get paid? I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. I don't even stop at red lights. No desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime? Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the other room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner, can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? That's a great question. Besides the rooms provided by TCA. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Maybe it's a new addition. Sorry, partner, I ain't good with the machines. I just pulled the handle. I couldn't even tell you how my bike works. Have they invented the wheel yet? It's quite, incredible. The sensors in the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Is it? Is that a good thing, Edgeworth? I feel like all of the departments need to be cleansed. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? The street side salute and time went down. What were you doing in a place like that? Drinking, what do you think? I was eating spaghetti. Not even English steak, I just gonna eat that barley vongole sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police chase to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. I think that was a yes. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. It's usually where Edris says, did you not want to raise this year? I don't think Marshall cares. I don't think he has a home or anything. I don't think he needs money. He just lives day to day. Probably steals that spaghetti anyway. I'm an innocent traveling man, so if you don't have it, how we hate traffic. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall. That's right, partner. Or as you call it, evidence. You plan to pin me to the crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything, or be doing his job in any way. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card on my sleeve, so I'd best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante. I don't... I think it's just saying, like, prove that he was there, right? Oh, right. He said he wasn't there for weeks, but that cannot possibly be true. Isn't that right, cowboy? Yeah, objection. You liar. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner, before I shoot you. It's quite simple, as my neck says. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Humph, listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. No. I only wish it were, officer. I'll break my neck in protest, but you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Maybe you killed someone. I went past him. Witness, what's the meaning of this? You can't kill people just because you think you're in the West. Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene. Blood was wiped away, however. A luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall. It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on their shoulders. That's mean. I'm taking you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. I tripped. About the blood-stained fingerprints. Very well, you may begin your test by your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Better not lie. Blood-stained fingerprints. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints being that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprints are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing a glove? See, had nothing to do with it. Oh, what? Marshall? That was a really stupid excuse. Could you have just said, like, you cut your hand one day and left a bloody handprint there? What was that? How do you even know the person was wearing gloves? The witness's explanation appears valid, I think. Although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Okay. Yeah. That's because you... How did you put it? Pay your respects once a month. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. Yours? What? How do you still have a locker? What? What do you mean? What are you talking about? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. How are you allowed to keep this? All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. And a strange cloth. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from the locker's programming. Interesting. Must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Huh. Okay. One of them just happened to be the same. Yeah. Hold it. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine, it's no mystery. Please explain, I'm lost. I put my pants. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. You had to. It's in my testimony. Stop pushing me in random stuff. Okay, I'm just trying to figure stuff out. Where touch the locker? Slam. No. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward for me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Unrelated? There's difference in night and day. Kind of like cereal and cereal. Yeah, exactly. One's got to do with breakfast while the other's type of murder. Yeehaw. He's right, oh my god. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. Oh, my mind is being blown. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Homonyms? Homonyms. That word. Or did you know the murderer was wearing gloves? I did. How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It's found in Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Yeah, but there was fingerprints on the other one, so... You're lying. I don't know how to prove that, though. I mean, what to present. Oh yeah, I think we tried that, too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint? Oh, that's what he said. Okay. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? No. The picture? This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape? Don't make me watch it again, please. Marshall, don't. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. I know. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue testimony, Officer Marshall. Too bad it wasn't me in the video, right, partner? That's interesting to say. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, is that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Stupid badgers literally fronting for the killer. Blind spots? I didn't see any. I can't see it all. Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. Yeah, the system sucks. If someone's familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. Which seemingly did happen. I don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Show evidence, no evidence in video. I don't know if there's any. I don't know if there's any evidence in the video. I mean, the fact that it's asking me, I feel like there has to be evidence in the video, right? I'll just see what my look at my neck. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright. You might wind up being the one making the mistake. I would never. Now then, let's have another look at that video. Oh, joy! Turn up the volume on that shit. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. Do boo do do boo boo do boo do boo do boo boo dee boo da boo ba boo dee dee boo bee ba boo ba da ba. I mean, something on this man or woman. Well, it's probably Jake. Man. Is there anything suspicious? I forgot I could fast forward. But I'm not going to because this song slaps. Yes, slashed him with a knife. Get him. There's blood on his shoulder now. Is that something? Wait, what's... Oh! God damn it, I have to go through the whole... Oh, okay, I saw it. Huh. Okay, I thought the white thing was there at the beginning, and then it disappeared. But it actually wasn't there in the beginning, it appears at the end. So, he took something from Goodman's locker and put it in his own? Damn. If only you properly put it in. Like a silly. Take that! You open your locker, you doofus. Bring our attention back to the security camera. Is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Yes, as my neck has told you. Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Take that. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. Maybe I won't kill you after this. The key lies in a certain locker showing the evidence. Video, I mean. That locker with the white claw sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Very good, George. Your memory skills are improving every day. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. But in slow motion, so we get to see the badger dancing. And see Meekin's dead corpse. Now go back. Go, there you go. Oh, and it's gone. It's like magic. Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. Oh my god. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. And it suddenly appeared. Only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Blah, blah, blah. Order! It would seem that's why blood comes don't interrupt. Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. Marshall, please. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault you having to choose mine. Wow, that was... Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? Yeehaw, oh yeah. Rootin Tootin. This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. Yeah, he's not playing dumb. He is dumb. He really is crazy. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah, I call your bluff. You say open the locker, now prove it. Okay. Alright, Marshall. Here you go. Fingerprint sensor. What in tarnation is a fingerprint? Don't make me blast you. We talked about this earlier today, remember? Lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. And in case the locks aren't that obvious, there are even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint lock. They kind of have the same voice. That doesn't matter. They'll never be seen together. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? What is that? What are you chewing on? Is that jerky? And I got one word for you, partner. No! What? Okay. Order! 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 Witness, explain yourself. Did you dare lie in my courtroom? No one does that. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. In jerky. Oh, what? Ole! Please answer the question. Ole! Ole! Orc! Someone help the judge. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can? Oh, I don't know where I am. Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room, right? Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. What? If that's so, then where was the witness? What? Wait, what? Oh, what? Why are we? What? Philip, what? We're explaining this a very weird way. It seems Mr. Ryan has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Wait. What? Oh yeah, I guess Bruce is technically the victim. It would be the victim, right? Or Goodman? Why are you explaining this in such a weird way? Like, Meekins couldn't see Marshall, so where could Marshall possibly be in this evidence room? I don't know. Officer Marshall standing right there. Right here. There? But that... Oh! He can make himself incorporeal! No, you That's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. No. Correct. What? Correct, but shaking my neck. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Yeah, well, he's also stupid and can't remember the face. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. Maybe the blue badger came to life and actually blocked his vision the whole time. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me and yelled something about Rootin Tootin. Who could it possibly be? Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. What? As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, if he saw the picture, he would know that it's not. Okay, I got you. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I don't know, I feel like you might have gone away with it. Meekins doesn't seem like a very observant type. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? No. You've got quite an imagination, Parker. We've got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to bring a detective. You're a patrolman? Get right. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition and your crazy talk. I can't say I care for your Hey, you don't see me complaining. Shut up there, old man. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Probably. Well, who am I kidding? I don't mean like that. Oh, never mind. I'll make something up. I can see that fear in your eyes, Parker. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Glug glug. Ack. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Edgeworth, baby. Got any idea? Wag my little finger. It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. Just, yeah, you don't have to be mean about it. Just help me out. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. Okay, I don't need the whole speech. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix! Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box! Oh, thanks, Mia. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise, but rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Yes. Wait, what? Because he was in disguise? Evidence that came out because he was in disguise? Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? I don't know, to put whatever he took from Goodman's locker? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. Oh, okay. According to the defense's argument, Officer J. Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime, and after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. Oh! Is that the outfit? Is that cloth the outfit he was wearing to his disguise as Bruce? The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. He derobed and like stuck the disguise inside, I think. So just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Well, I just figured it out, probably. Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered question. Let's watch it 3 more times. How many evidence? This video is my only shot. Are you kidding me? Look at all the evidence I have. It's insane. What do you want from me? Alright, let's look at the video. Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. Is it? Okay, so he took the disguise off. I'm assuming that the white cloth is the disguise. Oh, okay, maybe this answers my blood question. But, okay. But where did the blood come from is the question I have. Because the blood's not there right now. And Mika comes in and stabs him. Oh, I think it must be Meekin's blood then, right? After stabbing Meekins, he got that. Okay, I think that's it. He had to take the disguise off because he's covered in Meekin's giblets. Right? This. Take that. Yeah, take that. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman. Entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. Understandably so. I'd like to stab him too. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white cloth you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white cloth? You couldn't just walk out like that. I mean, why not? So you hid the coat in your locker. I guess it wouldn't matter if you undressed in the guard room or in the evidence room. Not bad, partner. I think he just admitted it. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. More than I do. I didn't say anything. 2 years ago. Oh, here we go. If you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, wouldn't we? Would we? Someone fill me in. It's unfair. Everyone gets to know and I don't. Officer Marshall, tell the Corps what you did. All of it. Alright. It seems the time has come. And then he pulls out 2 guns and just starts blasting everyone. Oh, what? I thought he was actually just going to talk and explain. It's a testimony, which means he's lying. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. Maybe it's like, maybe they got the wrong person. Like, they made up evidence because they were, desperate. I guess maybe he at least thinks that the wrong person got executed. It'd be pretty messed up. So, I don't know. Just trying to figure it out himself. I don't know why Goodman needed to die. Okay. I wasn't expecting the Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. Well, you did cut him first. And managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Yeah, I knew that. I don't know who... It's crazy that anyone even said there was, but So the supposed victim was really you. And there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? I took a shit. You know how hemorrhoids bleed. Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Also, I'm pretty sure you cut him. Alright. I had to do it that day. Just didn't stab. I want to explain. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? Guess on 9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. Yeehaw, it's not over. What did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only the case's lead detective can look through the evidence. So I killed him and took his fingerprints. I want to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? Phoenix. That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID, dressed like him, and planned to take out the evidence. Okay, it seems seemingly, though, him doing this has nothing to do with Goodman's murder, right? Like, he only stole the ID and was planning to steal the evidence, right? I don't think he expected Goodman to be murdered at the same time. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. I mean, does anyone else look at the tapes beside you? I think if you erased the tape early, no one would care. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident. Or... I don't know. It really was why Goodman started filing out that lost item report. No, Goodman was still alive when he stole it. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot, but he was already dead. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So, essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, Parker? You insulted me? Well, put your guns up, brother. I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Oh yeah, What? So the locker also just happened to be open too? It's a lot of coincidence. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could, because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. Or did it? That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. Wasn't expecting Officer Meekins and knocked him out. Just fall over the knife part. Pull a knife on Officer Meekins and try to drive him off. I just say I was a little surprised, so I stabbed him right in the giblets. I cut out his liver and then skinned him and made this hat. I don't know who that other guy is. I only plan on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. And thinking of what would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is 1 in a million type of person. And that's a good thing, probably. Mistaking a detective for an intruder, demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. Why'd you fire him? Why did Edgeworth get so much influence? That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know how Edgeworth is controlling the wages of the police officers, but you know. Anyway, he threw himself at me and ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it didn't turn out that way, but he asked for it. Me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. God, we all suck. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and... I managed to escape and no terrorists wouldn't be caught on the camera. So he really did. He just, crawled under the camera as it was panning back and forth. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. Didn't think it would make a difference, though. Security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? He was dead. What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is, on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room 515. I already knew that. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What, are you blind? I stabbed him. The victim shown on the tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. Except the rubber glove that kept the locker open? What? Why? I don't... Huh? What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? Present it right now. Get it! It's still missing, Your Honor. I don't know. I don't have it. What the fuck? How does this even happen? What is our police department? And if Goodman's locker was already empty, so someone emptied it beforehand. Someone else stole the evidence. I mean, believe it or not, I have an inkling that whoever this last ID is probably who took it. And I'm going to guess it starts with a D and ends in Amen. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. You can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Are you sure? Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. You will be demoted to janitor. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. I feel like I'm not caught up on the lore. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? No, I don't know why. Tell me. That case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? The hell it was. That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved a sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved the serial murders, didn't it? The breakfast kind. I don't get to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I was there and I don't remember. I don't know. I ain't got a fucking clue. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I have a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Our involved here is related in some way to that case. Better take another look at the files. See, you already do know, you're just playing dumb. Yeah, I know what it is. And present the Joe Dark file. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you're curious so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. As both detective and victim. A list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. You received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. Hey, that's the guy at the bottom left of that one other picture that I saw. What? A prosecutor? Must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed, and the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? I'm so lost. Marshall, maybe they are long-lost lovers. He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police. Okay. Yep, that's him at the bottom left. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. You were desperate to prosecute the killer. Is that him? Oh god. Joe Dark. He does look like a Joe. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. Huh. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. No, I actually believe you. And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions. There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department the day of the crime. Yes, let's go. We got another possible suspect exonerated. It's still on land. That was the last day of this line. Case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to seal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. It was part of it. No murder took place at the police department that day. Big surprise. The things that happened by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance. It's gotta be more than just that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of a lot of quinky dinks. I still don't know what it means though. So if no one was murdered at the police department the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Good job, Phoenix. Which in turn means only one person committed the crime. Again, Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky. I object. but wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examine the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. Shut up. Don't make me come over to slap you. All the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you ever respond, make it a single word or less. Objection. Arg. That is not a word. Bow. I win. I rest my case. God, I'm so good. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Yes, I'm sure I'm gonna be able to read out a guilty verdict and no one will interrupt, like always. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time. You clearly did this case for me. Just proving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. You did this twice in a row, my friend. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. As court finds the defendant, here we go. Here I'm gonna say it. Everyone ready? God damn it, who's speaking? Your Honor, wait! God, someone shoot that little girl. I'm saying the verdict. I don't care if it's wrong. Emma? The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Emma, you can't go to the witness stand. That's not how objections work. Right? No, I have nothing. What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? No, I don't know her. I've never seen her in my life. You should probably shoot her. She has a gun. Your Honor? Oh, in a sense. Please, Your Honor. All I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. Oh, fine. I don't want to leave any loose ends. God, you're such a sude. And maybe you just want to help. If you want a minute, I'll give you 3. Okay. Thanks, Edgeworth. Such a nice person. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out this on the incident referred to the Joe Dart killings. Now that she mentions it. Names of the both Scott and sisters were in that file. As witnesses, right?
That's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint.
You know what? That's true. I didn't even think about it to this point. There's still the other handprint. The bloody glove. You mean the traces of blood found in Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprint were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again.
So, did you find something?
No. No.
Let's go. Huh?
Sorry, guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Okay, that's it, I'm gone.
Thanks. Is that it? Is that all?
Please don't be mad. You're a high school student.
Okay. Alright, I'm a nice try. Swing and a miss. I'm just an attorney.
But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have left.
I mean, what's the little dirt beside it? Is that fingerprints? Did we look at that already?
If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Actually, I've done everything in my power to prove her guilty. Me? Oh boy. Time's up now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? Yeah. It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. I mean, we don't have an explanation for it. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? What do you mean? Why would there be a blood print there?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be more of use, but still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be.
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We won't have all day. Don't make me set my hellhound on you. Yes, Your Honor. Ever I need to concentrate now. Have flashbacks of Mia. I don't know. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? There's something I'm missing. I mean, I object. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. What am I not? You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Oh! That's where the blue badger is. Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. What does that mean, though? the blue badger's there. It was there before the blue badger was put there? Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. All this evidence here. It's gotta be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? Which item? I mean, security tape, right? When is it not the security tape? As they say back west, even a blind man can hit with a buckshot. That is, so long as he's facing the general direction. It seems Mr. Wright's not sure which direction to face. It's no use. Wait. Was that Ron? Yeah, I know what's there. Please let me know that you. I know. I was gonna say. Ugh, whatever. I think I just probably fucking badger. Yes. Oh the fuck! No, my badge. Stupid blue badger. Take that. What about that piece of plywood? The blue badger. Mascot of the police force. The pride and joy of the world. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright, before I slap you. Look at the floor plans of the crime scene. Blue Badger is not here. So, who cares? So watch what happens when we put him in. You sillies. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well? Well, what? Come on, use your brains. Oh!
Yeah, that's right.
So long as the blue badge is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot in the locker. What?
I don't know.
So that means, just exactly what does that mean? I don't know. It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces are undeniably found in that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically.
Emma.
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badge to the evidence room, right?
Right.
After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on a locker.
Right. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the blue badge was brought in. That's what's gonna connect everything. That's what's gonna connect this. Because, right? It's gonna say Meekins. The first time Meekins went in is when he put the blue badger thing there. So the only two people came in before that were Edgeworth and whoever this other person is. Yeah, it's gonna connect everything. Oh my god, the blue badge is gonna solve the case. Just one moment, I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. Are you kidding me, Judge? When do you not allow it? It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. So all the blood found there afterward is from someone else? Problem is, the other time, someone bled prior to the struggle down shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. Wait, so I'm going back to when he was murdered here? Phoenix, you just said that's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
Objection.
It's not absurd. Murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. We're going back. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? Great question. How did Marshall not know about it? I guess he was drinking somewhere. To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. Only one piece of evidence that can show that? Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess the ID record? I mean, it just proves that two other people went in there, one being Miles, one being unknown. How does that prove? But that doesn't prove, like, another incident took place. I don't know. I have so much evidence, Judge. One of these has to be. I'm just gonna present the crime. This, I guess? If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. Alright. In order to do so, an ID card would have been required. Right? An ID card? Oh, the ID card record. Is that right? As you can see, Edgeworth is still the killer. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Oh, it's Edgeworth. Oh, Miles Edgeworth. Just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. From the act, witness. Everyone shut up before I do kill you all. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nobody getting it. Pretty sure it was. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol tests that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. True. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. I could do it. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Ooh, I wonder who this 7 person is. Could it be someone who starts with a G and ends with an ant? Chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 7777777. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? I don't know. Maybe he entered with the person. Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. Yeah. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777. That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. Are you shitting me? At least at present. What? There's no list? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Oh. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. You don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. Who made these rules? Well, I mean, it's gotta be Gant. There's no way it's anyone else. That's ridiculous. Just how... I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. Sorry, babe. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive officer is accepted. An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
What is he talking about? Don't even say anything.
I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Charge him with slander. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes. No, not you. To her, the defendant's in over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Wait, Lana's here? I didn't know the defendant sat in here. Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777. Don't blame me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Fuck no. I mean, Angel already said as much. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time,
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana. I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what are you saying? Do not slander the law in my courtroom. I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence,
See, that's what I'm talking about. So, but I mean, he still got the verdict, right? Why? Why would you? I is he just angry that like forged evidence was used, or do you think something else happened? No, no. Order on everyone's order. Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. The judge had to release the hellhounds and aid everyone in the upper place. Why are they even there? To be continued! Oh my good lord, we have done it again. We have proved another person not to be the killer, so it still must be Huh. But we are definitely whittling down what could have happened. And I'm starting to see a picture, but I don't know what it means. Clearly something else happened besides just evidence was forged and Joe Dark was convicted with it. Jake doesn't think his brother was killed by Joe. But but then why would he be killed? Is the thing. And then why would I don't know what Goodman has to do, why Goodman would be killed, why Lana would quote unquote kill Goodman, how all these coinky dinks happen at the same time. I don't know. But I imagine let's just see here. Yes, we'll do next time will be another investigation. Maybe we'll learn something. Please, someone tell me anything. But yeah, I'll have to wait till next time. I hope you enjoyed this part. Please leave a like and a comment if you did, and I hope to see you all next time. Until then, bye.